I am really excited tonight because I'm bringing you another Everyday Leader on Personal Growth Live. And Tim and I just connected recently, and I heard about this summit that he is hosting. And then so I had to share it with people because this is really, really fun and amazing. And you guys are going to be so excited because some of these speakers you actually know. You've probably seen them, you've trained from them, they've been your mentors. And so I had to share this. I'm so excited. So, Tim Shurr, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Melanie. It's an honor to be with you.
This is really fun. So I'm getting to know you as well. So with everybody else, tell me about what your journey has been. I know you're a speaker, you're an author, you're an amazing inspiration. And so tell us about what your journey has been really up until this point.
Well, thank you. So we've all been affected by COVID-19. And as leaders, we have two options. We can hide under our bed and hope that it goes away, which is not a very effective choice, or we can adapt. And so as a speaker, I saw in March, 90% of my business disappear overnight. And so what do? And I thought, well, in times of stress or worry, you turn to trusted mentors for guidance. And then I thought, well, there's so much noise out there on the internet and everybody's an expert. So who do you trust? And I thought, well, what if I could pull together the icons of personal development, the people that we grew up listening to their audiobooks, reading their books, the real staples in the business world. And so I happen to know a lot of them because of my How to Be Mesmerizing podcast. And so I started making phone calls and I thought, wouldn't it be cool if we could be a fly on the wall for some legendary conversations between some amazing people? Like, what if Brian Tracy and Les Brown were having a conversation and we could sit in on it? And they were talking about best practices and what's working now. And I thought that would be amazing. So I called them both up and they both said yes. And I'm like, what? So then I got excited and I said, well, who else can I call? So then I thought, I'm a big fan of Bob Proctor and Dennis Waitley. And so wouldn't it be amazing if Bob Proctor and Dennis Waitley were having a conversation and we could eavesdrop? So I called them up and they said yes. And I went, what? And I just kept doing that. And I got 18 of these iconic legends and brand names like Mark Sanborn, and he's the guy for leadership. Dr. Willie Jolly, he has one of the number one radio programs on XS Radio and one of the top 5 speakers in the world. The list just goes on. Patricia Fripp, who is like one of the top presentation skills. I call her the queen, in the world. She's just brilliant. And Evan Carmichael is younger. He has 2.6 million followers on YouTube. And I just recently got to know Evan, and so I invited him on. And I wanted to take the wisdom of some of these people like Proctor and Tracy and Waitley. They're 85 years old, 87 years old. And I wanted to capture their wisdom because they are living legends. We lost Stephen Covey, we lost Zig Ziglar, we lost, Earl Nightingale and Dale Carnegie and some of these people that if you're not my age, you've never heard of them before. Right? They're not with us anymore, but these people are. And so I wanted to take the wisdom of our greatest mentors, give it to us business owners and leaders so that we can inspire those that we lead, and then also get it to the younger movers and shakers, the next generation of people who can take this wisdom and use it to transform our world.
Absolutely. I love this. I could just reach out and touch you, your energy. It's so much fun. And we've got some people that are making comments here, so I wanted to share that. And it's really fun because, when you say these names, it's immediate feedback. Like, oh my gosh, if you could be in the room where it happened, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to share, for those that are just kind of following and joining here, I'm going to share the screen and we're going to kind of walk through what this looks like. Because you see all these people on one billboard and say, oh my gosh, if you could just learn from them. So it really is amazing. And how you set this up is just over 2 days. And so that's what I think is great. I've been in leadership summits and virtual summits through COVID. And it seems like everybody kind of has a day and then they replay these and it goes on for maybe 2 weeks. This is a packed 2-day conference, basically, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's really extraordinary, and it's history making because these people have not been together like this. They're all friends, but they haven't been together like this ever. And they haven't had the format because usually summits is one person speaks for an hour and then someone else, where we're taking 45-minute segments and having these two icons have a conversation, right? So I already mentioned, Brian Tracy and Les Brown and Bob Proctor and Dennis Waitley, and Dr. Jolly's going to be having an amazing conversation with Ford Sakes. You might not know who Ford Sakes is. He has he's in the Hall of Fame. All these people are Hall of Fame speakers, but he's built the websites and the marketing materials for most of the top brands, for most of the top speakers. And so he's helped people generate millions of dollars, and he's kind of the under the radar leader and happens to be a friend of mine. Patricia Fripp and Jim Cathcart, they've been on the circuit for decades, 40, 50 years, traveling the world. 40 years. Patricia would slap my hand if I said 50. 40 years, traveling the planet, helping and teaching people. And Don Hudson and Mark Victor Hansen, Zig Ziglar, the late great Zig Ziglar, who was my mentor, he would do 2-day seminars for years, 2-day seminars. He would do the first day. Don Hudson would do the second day on negotiation secrets. So Don Hudson is still with us. So he's going to be doing a program with Dr. Joe Vitale, who Joe and I are a friend. We just are friends. We just finished a new book together. So Joe Vitale from The Secret's going to be on with us. Mark Victor Hansen, he sold 500 million copies of his Chicken Soup for the Soul book. So Mark's going to be doing a program on how to build an empire now with Mitzi Perdue. Mitzi Perdue is the only billionaire friend that I have, and she her father built the Sheraton Hotel empire, the $6 billion hotel empire, and then she married Frank Perdue, the Chicken King. And his, he has $1 billion food empire. He's passed, but so who better than Mitzi to talk about how to build an empire, right? And so they're going to have these conversations, and it just goes on and on. So many brilliant people.
Wow. And I would say, from all of these, anybody that's kind of saying, how did you get started in this? Like, how did you just decide these were going to be your mentors? This was going to be your network. Where did that begin?
So here's how it began. I decided I wanted to up my game, and I wanted to be more of a speaker and more of a Hall of Fame speaker. I wanted that kind of energy. I wanted to write best-selling books. So I thought, am I hanging around Hall of Fame speakers? Am I hanging around best-selling authors? And the answer was no. So I thought, how would I do that? I thought I could do my podcast. And so I started with one person who I happened to know, which was Joe Vitale from 20 years ago. And I interviewed him. And then from there, I said, hey, I had Joe Vitale on the show. And I started reaching out to Hall of Fame speakers, just calling them up and said, would you like to come on? And they said yes, because we're in the middle of a pandemic. All their keynotes were canceled as well. So they're just sitting around, right? Mm-hmm. And so everyone except Brian Tracy. Brian Tracy is still as busy as ever. It's insane. He does webinars every single day, with people all around the world. He's the busiest 85-year-old I've ever met in my life. But I just started with one person, and then I add tremendous value. Because in the beginning, I was insecure. I'm like, these people won't talk to me. They're already rich and successful. What can I do for them? All these limiting beliefs. That's my specialty. I've been a hypnotist for 30 years. And so I'm an expert in upgrading unconscious beliefs and biases. And so I had to get rid of my own beliefs that, they're not going to talk to me and who am I and all that stuff. And I thought, they're going to love this and I'm going to create value. So I did. So I created value for them, helped them, promoted them, gave testimonials for their stuff, whatever I could. And then when I came around and I needed a favor, I also had the courage to ask for them. Mm-hmm. Mark Victor Hansen just wrote a book called Ask. And he says, if you don't ask, you don't get. So you got to ask. And so then I asked. And then I just started with one person and then asked another and another. And pretty soon I started becoming friends with these people. Where months earlier I didn't even know them. And now I'm friends with all of them, which is mind blowing. And then when I put this together, I'm like, this is insane. And if it wasn't for a pandemic, this wouldn't have happened. Right? And so we take situations that are devastating and we, as Dr. Willie Jolly would say, we turn a setback into a setup for a comeback, and then we turn that into greenbacks.
Absolutely. I love that because The thing is, where can you bring those leaders if you had to go and really travel to an event like this? It would be way more than $47, first of all. and
Yeah.
you would not be able to really absorb what they were telling you. And you're going to have conversations together. And, I'm certified through John Maxwell. And so I love the mentors and the relationships that we've been pulled into. And Les Brown, all these people that you have in this panel, it's like, wow, right? It's kind of the wow of the wow. So people that are following this, all of the people on LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTube that are thinking about what is one thing that I could do for just a couple of days and have access to this. This is amazing, Tim.
Yeah, it's amazing when you find out how much it costs to play.
Yeah.
because how much, and maybe I should have charged more, but I wanted everybody to have access because I know that a lot of people have lost their jobs. A lot of people are scared. A lot of people are scrambling and not knowing what to do and needing inspiration. So I decided I wanted to make sure that I didn't charge $1,500 or $1,000 or even $500. I charged $47. $47 for both days. Now, I'm going to give a replay for 5 days so you can watch the replays. But I know that a lot of people that are buying the ticket are already buying the backstage pass. So if you spend $200, you get all the videos and all the other bonuses and the live masterclass that I'm going to do afterwards. So you know how to apply what you just learned. And so you could buy the $47 ticket, or you can get the $200, as Wayne Dyer would say, the whole enchilada. Right? You could do that, and then you have it forever. Which, if I wasn't putting this event on, I'd be doing that because this is legendary. And like you said, Melanie, you get to say you were there when it happened, and there won't be an event ever like this ever again. It's a one-time thing.
Mm-hmm. And you have created it. That's the thing. Thinking about when I started my podcast, I thought, what am I going to do it about, right? And so when I thought about lifting leaders and adding value, and so when you have a dream or when you have a vision, I really want to encourage people, step into that, because no matter where you are or what you're doing, if you have an idea and you gather people around you with the same mindset, anything is possible. Anything is possible.
Absolutely. And I love it, what you did with your 50 leaders, right? And I went through all of that and was listening to the interviews and watching your videos. And then you have John Maxwell on there. And I tried to get John into this, but he was already hooked up. So,
he's a busy man.
I tried to get John. He's pretty busy, but they all are, right? And like you said, I was talking to Brian Tracy. It was just so surreal that I could call up Brian Tracy on a Sunday afternoon. Right? It was just blowing my own mind, right? And I call up Brian. He's like, "Hey, Tim, how are you?" I'm like, "Hi, Brian." I'm pinching myself, and he said something one day that made me smile for 3 days. I couldn't even wipe it off my face. He said, well, someone had to do it. I guess it was you.
Yeah. Well, I applaud you for this because there are so many people that, during this pandemic, right? And they say, well, I wish I could have, or I should have started, or the list is too long, right? And so here we go, Wynn Charles, just do it. That's exactly right. Wynn Charles is one of these. She is a leader with cerebral palsy, and her message is just get up and fight and do it and win. Her name is Wynn. So I just love it. And thanks for joining tonight, Wynn. But we are celebrating leaders. We are celebrating, the idea that you can be inspired with one idea. And if you just put the people around you, you can actually make your dreams happen. And it's tried and true, right? It's just getting that inspiration and then saying, nothing's going to get in my way. Fear is a whole different level. This is really not letting yourself get paralyzed in thinking there's only one way to do things. And so I just really love this, and I'm so excited for you because it is in October. It's the tell us the dates again.
24th and 25th. So we're like 12 days away, something like that.
24th and 25th. And so I talked to you guys last night about the Mastering Your Mindset for Joy that I'm involved with, and that starts October the 16th through November 1st. It's different. It's 20 or 30 minutes a day. For a full day, you get the video. This is packed in 2 days, so you can do both of these. What I'm telling you is get your training now, because we're still in the middle of COVID, and people are still looking for ways to add value. We're looking for ways to get inspired. And there are so many people that want to pour into you. So right now, I would highly recommend go to the Legend Summit 2020 or LegendSummit.com, right? I'm sorry, you can say it. LegendSummit.com.
That's right.
Legend, not just LegendSummit .com, and you can sign up. And if you're on YouTube or Facebook, any of those, I've got a link there, an affiliate link that you can just click on and sign on so that you can join us for those dates in October. And so, Tim, what's the best way? Like, tell me about your day-to-day life, right? And I know this got you inspired, and here it is in October. So, what's going to happen after this summit? What are your expectations for your life?
Oh my gosh, that is a wonderful question. So what I'm going to do is take the same inspiration that everybody else who's going to attend is going to do, and then put it into a plan to move forward, right? For what we want to create. We want to start with the end in mind. And sometimes we get so busy that we're so busy trying to get done what's in front of us that we're not focusing on where are we supposed to be heading, right? So my goal is to continue to take the wisdom from these legends and get it into the hands of leaders, right? Younger leaders and those of us who are more seasoned, who are still craving that inspiration, who are still wanting to close that gap from where we are to where we want to be. Because achievers like us are always wanting to take it to the next level and figure out what else we can do to excel and have more fun and meet more amazing friends, and like you and me. And so this is it's going to be very exciting. And then in January, I launch a book with Joe Vitale. It's called One Belief Away, because you truly are one belief away from whatever it is that you want. I had the idea to do this, and if I would have said, no, it wouldn't, I couldn't pull that off, it wouldn't be happening, right? And so the fact that I decided I can do this, I'm going to act on it and find out. You have those ideas, you'll have those inspirations as well. We just got to put it into action. So I'll be taking everything that I'm learning during the summit. We're going to apply it. And then I did do the master class afterwards, 2 weeks after this event. So if anybody signs up for that backstage pass, then we'll be meeting together, and I'll be teaching you what I did to connect with these people and how to create the networks that'll increase your net worth, and all kinds of other fun things. And then there might be some stuff that you and I can do together, Melanie, to continue to team up, because two brains are better than one.
Well, it's funny that you say what the little keywords, right? And so I always tell my groups, I have a Bible study that we meet every morning for the last year, and we always get to the point where I say, it's right in front of you, right? It's right in front of you.
Yeah.
You don't realize the gifts that you have, and when you realize, hey, I can be doing something differently to inspire a group around me or to pull people in.
Yes.
And that's all it takes. It's just we've got to have the freedom to let our minds go, it's okay. Whatever I need to do, just do that first thing. And then you were just, I think, really surprised sometimes about how easy it is.
Yeah. When you're in the flow, when you're watching and expecting miracles to show up, and then they do, and you're like, that's amazing. And then instead of looking, right. Instead of looking back and seeing how it all fits together, you're watching it fit together in real time, which is mind blowing, right? But what you expect to see is usually what shows up. So I expect miracles. I expect the amazing things to happen. I have no idea how it's going to happen. Turns out I don't have to know. I just focus on what I want, and then I watch for the clues, and then I act on them as fast as I can. And then it's amazing how it unfolds. And it's just so much fun.
It is so much fun. Oh, Tim, I could talk to you for like 5 days. This is awesome. I am hoping that this word gets out, and we're going to share this. If you guys are watching now on YouTube or Facebook or any of these channels, please share this with your friends, because many of the people that I follow and my mentors, they'll say, oh, I've seen Les Brown or I've seen Brian Tracy. But all of these leaders are going to be together for 2 days. And so that's the big bang, right? That's the big benefit. And I want you to at least sign up and experience this. If you can't go to the next level, at least join for the couple of days and listen and learn. Get your journals out and start learning from these leaders, because this is just an amazing event, Tim.
Yeah, it really is extraordinary. And the very first hour, I've invited all of the legends in at the same time, almost for like a reunion tour, right? My friends calling it the wisdom tour, right? So for that hour, we're going to have everybody all at the same time, and it's going to be hilarious because you got big personalities and they're all friends and they haven't seen each other for years, some of them, and it's going to be fun.
That is awesome. All right, everybody we've got one more comment here. I want to make sure that I need this. Okay. Oh, good. Fantastic. I am so glad that you joined us tonight. And so go to LegendSummit, LegendSummit.com, and you can sign up, or you can sign up in the links that are provided here in the chat that you're seeing as the post. If you go to YouTube and you look at the comments there, you can click on that link. And so we're really excited about this. Tim, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And I just want to tell you thank you from the bottom of my heart. You're my newfound friend.
Yes, thank you so much, Melanie. It's been an honor and a treat hanging out with you. Thanks so much for sharing this with your community. I really appreciate that so much. And I look forward to what unfolds for us in the future.
Absolutely. And like I always tell people, Tim, continue to be that everyday leader that is changing the world, because absolutely you are. So thank you, my friend.
Thank you.